Welcome back. You're now watching Trend Wave on Breakfast Central. A 29-year-old internet fraudster, Amos Olaleye, who was arrested in Lagos State, Nigeria, has told the Nigerian police how he allegedly conspired with his mother to use his younger sister for money rituals. Now, the police said the suspect was arrested during a stop and search on Itamaga-Ikorodu Road while on the way to throw his sister's corpse into a river. In his confessional statement to Nigerian police, the suspect said his mother took him to a native doctor and was instructed to sacrifice the sibling he loved most so that he could become rich and bring an end to the poverty in their family. He said it took him months to make the decision, but his mother was persistent and continued persuading him to oblige to what the native doctor instructed him to do. Upon agreeing to use his sister for the ritual, he said his mother planned the entire incident by going out to buy poison which she put in his sister's food, which led to her death. He also admitted to having sexual intercourse with his deceased sister and was instructed to dump the corpse into a river after her vital organs had been removed from the body. This is quite sad, but let's see how people are reacting to this story on social media. That's a comment from Bogas. Bogas goes on to say, "My question is why didn't the mother sacrifice herself for her kids? It's only the legend parents that do this. I promise to sacrifice myself for my kids, hustle hard and smart and pray with faith for grace and favor. Legit, pay more." That's according to Bogas. VA_Dam says one day we have to address the unhealthy relationship between mothers and their sons. Some sons will do anything that comes out from their mother's mouth, and some mothers are the most toxic beings on earth. And I agree with that comment. Let's take a look at more reactions to this story. The Nation Boy goes on to say, "I'm so happy for them as the poverty has now been put to an end in Kirikiri. Any parent that supports or glorifies his or her children going into fraud can do this." And the Nation Boy there is crying. Let's take a look at one more comment and move on. C.9_Ifeanacho says, "Is this a movie script or what? What is this world turning into? Nigeria youth, which way now? Must you kill to become rich? The desperation among youth to make money is so high, and it goes on to say it's high time we start preaching against bad business." But let's move on now, but still stay in Nigeria, where controversial Nigerian actor and activist Yomi Fabiyi has reopened an unfinished case against his colleague Princess Comedian, the foster mother of a 14-year-old girl involved in the rape case of Baba Ijesha, another Nollywood actor. In a letter which was written to the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Yomi Fabiyi alleged that the sperm found in the private part of Princess's foster daughter does not belong to Baba Ijesha, but belongs to one Damola Adekola. According to the thespian, in a letter he made via Instagram, the victim accused one Damola Adekola of having multiple sexual intercourse for her for a long time, of which the suspect had been arrested and also confessed to this crime. He wrote this, and I'm going to paraphrase it quickly. He says, "A quick flashback few days ago after Baba Ijesha was set up, lured and arrested, test was conducted on the girl and sperm was found in a private part, which definitely was not for Baba Ijesha." It goes on to say that the victim accused one Damola Adekola of having multiple sexual intercourse with her for a long time. He was arrested, investigated, and he invariably gave a voluntary confessional statement to having had sex with a purportedly 14-year-old. He goes on to say that as we speak, he may have resumed his act on the girl, which since he was left up the hook by God knows who or why. It goes on to say Princess Comedian, the victim's foster mother, is accessory, quote, accessory after the fact. She also has many cases to answer in this matter if the honest justice and procedures are allowed, sir. Then it goes on to say thank you in advance and looking for the world is watching. See attached full letter for full details. Of course, that's the letter that you could have seen scrolling on your screen, an open letter from Yomi Fabiyi to the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. But we'll see how people are reacting to this story very quickly. That one is from DocXHTML. Say, "You're a good man. Your generation will remember you for advocating for justice." Let's take a look at more comment. Ann_Drea goes on to say, "Cloud chaser, you missed the relevance this case gave you and you are back to it. There's a justice system and the courts know their roles, including, of course, the appeal court if you're not satisfied with the given judgment. Stop disturbing well-meaning Nigerians with your desperate shenanigans and try to grasp at anything to be relevant, especially because a minor is involved. Let's take a look at more comments to this story. Of course, that's another angle. Love_Samuel says, if truly there is another person, then the case needs to be resurrected. Prestige Canada goes on to say, is this friendship or what? Or is this revenge? Because this man has not left his friend's side even up until now. What's really going on? So lots of people are a bit confused about the situation. Like, are you really on the side of justice? Or why, if we have somebody else in prison, why are you trying by all means to get the other two people in? What is really the case here? Because if the Court of Justice has put a particular person which they feel is the major suspect into prison, so why are you just trying to take the sides of your friend? Are you clout chasing? So many reactions to this story, and honestly, we'll just see how if the governor of Lagos State will actually attend to this, or if it's going to just be something that will just be one of those stories that come up and then nothing happens, probably trends, and there it ends there. But I want to know your takes on this story, Olive and Osalge.
On which of them now? I mean, so
I think
Yomi Fabiyi
this
story.
one, Yomi Fabiyi's story, yes.
Yeah, so I think it does have a point. You know, it does raise, you know, one or two questions. You know, if what he's saying is true, then yes, you know, there is, I think there's some point. To be honest, I don't know much about the whole story. Enough to really comment, you know, authoritatively on it. But from what I read in his letter, he does raise some, you know, valid points there, and I think it probably should be looked into.
Well, I can't really say much about the Yomi Fabiyi story until all of that is sorted out. I think I'll react more to the other story.
The first story.
Yes, it just again reflects the deformity in our moral compass and how we have so much work to do. We have a ticking time bomb on our hands. How can a mother encourage her child to kill another of her children? You know, it just reflects to us that, you know, this is a society that we have on our hands, and I really hope that these people are made an example of, because there are other people. For us to have this one in the news, this is not the first time we're hearing a story like this.
Certainly not the first. It's not going to be the last as well.
Exactly, but I'm hoping that they would be made to pay to the full extent of the law, and that, you know, they can be used as an example to deter others. But more importantly, we must remember that the family is the smallest unit of society, and we must start to rework our moral compass. Thank you so much, Liz, for joining us on Trend Wave.
It's my pleasure.